Thanks very much, and thanks to you and your team for all you're doing back there. Just a real quick roll call here. Do I have Ted Robbins with me on the speaker line yet?
Yeah, you do, Kim.
Okay, great, Ted. I appreciate that. I tell you what, you guys, I am very, very excited about our call tonight. We got quite a bit of information to cover with you in a relatively short period of time. Hopefully you got the notice that went out earlier today that we did manage to track down our founder and owner of Social Outbreak, Ted Robbins. And Ted, I'll get to you in just a moment, but I do understand that you're not alone. You're out there trick-or-treating with, I believe it was Buzz Lightyear, and was it the Skywalker kid as well, or?
Yeah, I've got Buzz Lightyear and Anakin Skywalker here with me this evening.
Great. Well, we appreciate you jumping on here. And just real quick, before we go to Ted, you guys, just want to remind you that this week we've really ramped up the webinar schedule, and we've done that because we're starting to see the momentum building in a pretty massive way. If you haven't gotten our newsletter or our email communication, please go to mysocialstart.com. Click on live webinars, and you'll see the whole schedule for the week. We have 3 live webinars a day, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I was on Skype yesterday with Australia and New Zealand. They're actually going to take over the PowerPoint that we've been using, modify it a little bit for their market, and then they're going to start ramping up and doing the same in that part of the world. And, you know, as we start to combine forces here on a global scale, Ted, I hope you guys can keep up with us because we're getting ready for some pretty massive momentum. Just a couple of real quick housekeeping things. I did a training this past Saturday, and I didn't even know it, but John Jenkins actually taped it. So it is available now. If you haven't opened the newsletter that we send out every Sunday, go through your emails and find that. There's a link in there where you can click on it. It's about an hour long, and it's basically a training based on my 25 years experience in the home-based business industry, and we've gotten some very, very positive feedback on that. But I'm not going to let Ted wait out there. You know, he's trick-or-treating like maybe some of you that are tuning in here tonight on your cell phones. You may be doing the same thing with your children. So, you know, first of all, happy Halloween to everybody. Last week we were fortunate enough to have Jim Lupkin from WeBuildYourSocialMedia.com on here, the Social Outbreak's new partner. He gave us a sneak preview of 2.0 and kind of what that whole thing is about. So, Ted, I think probably the best way for me to start this tonight, and we're not going to keep you too long, but kind of from your perspective, what does this partnership with Jim's company, what does that mean to our associates? If you wouldn't mind, just kind of give them a little bit of a perspective on that.
Jim?
Yeah.
I was trying to unmute my phone. Can you ask me that first question on how you want me to start and key this thing off for you?
Sure. What I was saying was, you know, we had Jim Lupkin on here last week, and he was giving us kind of a sneak preview of 2.0 as that starts to roll out. And my question was, you know, this new partnership that has formed just recently, if you wouldn't mind, just give our distributors or associates here a feel for, from your perspective, what does this partnership mean to Social Outbreak, and what does it mean to our distributors?
Well, from my side, Kim, it's just real exciting, and it goes much, much further. I don't know if everyone really understands the relationship, so I'm always real excited when people ask the question, Kim, as to, you know, what the relationship is. I know that Jim was on the call this past week, elaborating on a little bit, but from our side, it's really a game changer. And the reason for that is for multiple reasons. First of all, it's the technology. A little over a year ago, you know, this technology, Social Outbreak wasn't around. No one was around besides We Built Your Social Media and myself in a room. And we had an idea, and I looked at their technology, and they had some of the coolest technology. At the time, they're doing some stuff for a ticketing site, Super Bowl. They're doing some really, really big stuff with a very large client. And I met with them. We said, you know, this would be really cool. How about, instead of you working on these big, big clients, how about if we could leverage your technology and put it in the hands of any individual or small to medium-sized business who really cared about their brand, but wanted to control their brand and really have it in their own destiny. I've owned web companies before. I've been the guy on the other side of the street, which is asked for so much money per month, and hey, you hand over your content, and every time you want to change, you got to come back to me to be able to make the change. And it's always very frustrating from both sides. One, from the technology provider that wants to provide the technology, because oftentimes you can't get to as many clients as you want to be able to get to. And two, from the end user side, because every time they need a change, they need to go back to the technology provider. And I kind of think of it, Kim, and I got to almost smile and laugh. I mean, technology, the way it's evolved, is almost like my kid's Halloween outfit. I'm 44 years old. I've said on multiple calls, I'm not ashamed of my age, but what's changed since I've been 8 years old, I've got my 3-year-old and my 8-year-old here with me. What's changed is when I was young, I remember going out of the store and I used to get a little teeny plastic mask that used to go over the top front of your face so you could hardly breathe with a little slit in the front. And always a little teeny rubber band that used to always bust in the back every time you put it on your head 2 or 3 different times that you got. And you're lucky if that was your outfit that you've got. You had your little bag that you've got. You'd go from house to house that you've got and do trick-or-treating. Now my kid, my Buzz Lightyear in the back, he's got the full Buzz Lightyear with his blow-up pack in the back, his full hood on that he's got, and he actually looks like the Buzz Lightyear with his foot, with his calf straps and the whole 9 yards. That's the small one. The oldest one, sitting there as Anakin Skywalker, has the full thing, including the braid and, you know, his lightsaber and all the rest of the things that go with it. And that technology has changed just as the same way that these Halloween costumes have changed over the years. And social media travels very quickly, and what we didn't want to do as an overall company, Kim, was want to be able to be reliant upon just our own destiny, our own technology. It was important from us early on to align ourselves with a company that has social media experience and not just a guy with a good idea. And I'm the guy with a good idea that I have, even though I've got 20-some years in technology experience. We really needed somebody with this company that was going to walk hand in hand, side by side with us all the way, that had a relationship and knows what's going on when you're doing Facebook integration, that can maintain and be able to grow with us as we move way beyond 2.0, but really move beyond where we have the vision of this overall capability, this platform, really taking us where no one can really touch us as far as a competitor or anybody wanting to get into this vertical space. We also want to be a category creator that we have moving forward. So this relationship with Jim and the original group started with just a good idea, and it's really involved. And what's really been great about this relationship, as Jim mentioned last week, was the overall partnership. What's great about us and the technology guys is they understand our vision, they understand our scope, and they understand the power of what we can do as an overall company. That's the reason why we've recently, as a company, have released a press release that have announced that there's an equity position within both companies, which means in very simple terms that we basically have given them part of our company, they've given us part of their company, and then we have made some amendments to our original agreement, which have lifted all of the requirements for any type of exclusivity towards the overall product, so that we're not dependent upon hitting any more levels anymore. We're not dependent upon any performance whatsoever at all, that we actually have those rights today. And from the IBO standpoint, I would feel very, very comfortable if I was looking and going to the overall company and saying, okay, what's your relationship with the core technology? Are you guys developing that technology yourself, the social outbreak? Or are you just a bona fide reseller and you're trying to just to resell the product? And what I'm so excited, Kim, to be able to get on the phone tonight is really to make everyone understand that with We Build Your Social Media, now that we both own part of each other's company and we've redone our overall agreements, that people can feel comfortable that when they're putting their name and their reputation on the line for this company, that we have not only the horsepower now from a greater technology side to be able to move forward, but it isn't a deal where they just develop the app and then they're going to get tired of it, that they have 2 or 3 months down the road and say, well, someone else has contracted us with another application that they've got, or a similar application, and they're going to leave us behind. And that would be one of the major questions as an IBO, as far as what I would ask, is I want to know, how's the contract written? What type of, exclusivity do you guys really, really have? And how tight is that relationship? And so when you hear the passion in Jim's voice and my voice that you've got, I really want the clarity to be and to understand from everyone that the relationship is so tight and that moving forward is very important for everybody.
That's phenomenal. Now, Ted, other than the very obvious advantage to us to have this very robust platform that Jim and his company, they have in place, in your mind, what are really the most powerful competitive advantages of Social Outbreak? And the reason I ask that question, you and I have had several conversations about this before, but especially for new people coming on board with us, they're all getting the same questions that obviously I got and other people when I first joined. It's like, well, I can go create a fan page for free, and there's this page moto, and there's this other thing that they'll do this for $9, and they'll do this for $19 or whatever. We all know this, but give us your perspective as to what are really the USPs, unique selling propositions, that completely separates what we have from anything else out there.
What we have to start out with is a basis for 2.0. 2.0 is a virtual hub now, which actually makes us a virtual social media agency, and that's very important because that allows us to not only utilize this technology, but also allows us in the future to be able to buy, build, or to be able to really create anything that's out there today and bolt onto it. But if I was going to go in, I was going to pitch, and I was going toe-to-toe, and I was going to be lined up with any of our competitors that are out there today, which consider themselves as competitors. In a lot of cases, I don't. But if somebody says, this is one of your competitors that you have, give me your pitch because your competitor's coming in right behind you, I would tell them that, first of all, go on the internet and try to find any company in the entire world that offers what we offer. Have them offer and say, is there another company out there that offers a sidebar builder? You aren't going to find another company who was the very first authorized Facebook application that actually created and had the sidebar builder approved by Facebook. Nobody on the internet or approved by Facebook offered a sidebar builder. If you combine that with the way that we're creating the page, we're creating pages differently than anybody does. We're creating it different than WYSIWYGs, which is a blank slate, and you basically drag and drop technology, or Widgets, which uses blocking technology. Our technology works different than both of them, and we believe that we can get our pages up quicker than both of those technologies and have a better looking page. If I progress and look further in our application, our viral technology and the way that we're doing our viral technology and notification is different than anybody's doing in the way that we're compacting, and the way that we've tapped into the approved APIs and technology through Facebook is uniquely different. You combine, you even go further into the application and say, okay, so I've got a new drip system which allows us to take content and to be able to put it onto a Facebook and Twitter page at the same time. What we're referring to this technology is called Post and Leap. So if you take that technology and you add that on top that you have, being able to have content-specific industry that is hand-scrubbed, not just use an aggregator on pulling information off the internet, but physically hand-scrubbed for an industry. I've only seen one other major company do it in the real estate industry, and they're charging $300 a month just for this one individual piece alone, and we're doing it for multiple clients and multiple industries out of the gate. Dig into it further, Kim. And you say the training. If you look at our training, and what I'm so excited about with 2.0, if you go in and look at our 30, 60, 90-day plan, which is a video as well as a PDF file, which has the fancy page flippers and everything on it, you will get a 30, 60, 90-day strategic plan on how to basically succeed in social media and what to do. Because what we were missing in 1.0, Kim, was where to go to next. What do I do next? What is my plan? And so what we've provided is what We Build Your Social Media used to do for high-end clients, and they used to do it for $2,500 to $5,000 a month. We're now getting and putting into our less than $100 package. We're taking that technology and putting that in. And so when you really look and say, okay, what am I getting here that I've got? And again, this 30, 60, 90-day training just isn't in Facebook. It's also for LinkedIn. It's also for Twitter. It's also for YouTube. The same training that we have comes for those different types of other verticals or other types of social media sites within our overall platform. So when you say to me, Ted, what is different? What is our unique value selling propositions? When I'm walking in on a sale or a sit, I can absolutely blow away the competition by what we have and the way that we've compacted it in a very easy-to-use platform, a very easy way to be able to follow it step by step and to migrate down through ours. You couple that with being industry-specific, I think we have a knockout combination that no one can touch, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, it's interesting because when we do our webinars, Ted, we do the presentations, I kind of joke about it, but it's the truth. I call Social Outbreak social media for dummies, and I say it very affectionately because I am one, And it's really a program that's designed for the masses. And one of the things that, to me, is so powerful is this whole training program, the Post and Lead, the library that's rolling out. Because let's face it, probably 99% of people that try to do social media campaigns or to try to learn it, they sign up for these other programs, and whether it's cheap or free or cost less or whatever, what good does it do if there is no really plan to run with? And Jim Lupkin, he really put this very, very well, and I just want to read this to you guys. He says, well, the way to answer this is very simple. Would you rather work with a real social media company with documented, proven results, or do you just want to buy a few tools and then try to figure it out on your own? Last but not least, Ted, here, and then we'll let you get back to your trick-or-treating here. And I know this is something on a lot of people's minds, and I think rightfully so, because we are dealing with a high-tech company, and we all know that high-tech is moving so fast. I mean, it's impossible to try to keep up with it for us mere mortals out here. So if you would just kind of put into perspective for our listeners here, what is your long-term vision? Because I think, especially in the network marketing industry, there seems to be this kind of weird thing that, social outbreak is kind of a hot thing, but it's like a 12 to 15 month run, and that's about it. So if you wouldn't mind, where do you see this 18, 24, 36 months out? I don't know if you can touch on anything with possible future products. I know that's always a double-edged sword. You don't want to future people too much, and I know that there are some things happening behind the scenes with some strategic alliances and all of that. So whatever you can share with everybody, I think that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, no, I think that really honestly there's a lot of global expansion into 2.5 and 3.0. We're going to get heavy into usability. So if you think the product is easy to use now, there's some features and some things that are going to come up in 2.5 and 3.0, where we're going to do regular releases, and we're not going to flagship each one of the releases and put everyone to a rigor mortis state, sort of like we're doing between 1.0 and 2.0. But we're going to let people know that the innovations and where we're going, and if our intention was short-term, Kim, we just would have been, okay, let's go ahead and put up the app, or even what we would have done even before we launched 1.0 is let's go into a pre-launch situation, let's take a few $1 million in money that we've got, and let's go ahead and take in the funds and take in the money, let's just do 1.0, see how much money we can get, make it a grab and run and go. So from our side, the philosophy has been much different. It's been about building a long-term company. It's about building a company that we've got that's going to last long-term. And a lot of that's built and based on this 2.0. Because whether or not people realize it or not, this 2.0 was so big for us as an overall platform on where we're going. It really is allowing us to do things that we weren't able to do when we had the app solely within Facebook. Because there's certain intricacies as there's a conversion of Facebook, and we're not ignoring the ability for Facebook to be the 900-pound gorilla in the room, but people want total social media training. They want to be aware of all different kinds of things, and we needed a platform to where if we saw technology out there, Kim, and we saw the technology, take your weight, please. Come over here, buddy. And if you see the technology that's really good out there, and let's say that one of our IBOs sees some technology that's really good out there, it would be a little bit arduous for maybe to bolt on that technology without 2.0. Now, if we really like something in social media, we can either bolt it on, we can JV with that company, or we can buy out the company. So it offers, in my vision, that we've got a platform that we can take global. It enables us to do more multilingual and just a whole slew of things. We're going to do, automatic. There's so many different things that we can do automatic, and the way the platform works, the ease of building the overall pages. So the vision for everybody that we have, I would look for more functionality on many different levels. I would look for additional JV partnerships. I would look for some additional buyouts of different companies to give us strength. But I would look for us for diversification, including gaming. and some really good things that will continue to separate us. So if there's any competitors that are out there that might be listening to this that they've got, they're going to have a hard time. And the hard time they've got is we're not going to sit back on our laurels on 2.0 and say, great, 2.0's out that we've got. I was meeting already this morning on multiple meetings. This isn't the first meeting on 2.0 and 3.0. I was already having the meetings today on. So from our side, it's not an issue of sitting back and waiting and then say 2.0's out, let's count the money. I want to really build a long-term company this year that's really able to be a category creator so we can sit back years from now that we've got and say we really were able to change the way in business people were able to learn about social media. And it's a gold mine right now, Kim. And when you look at this thing right now, not from the company side and wanting to go out and do it, but from the individuals who are wanting to go out and make money for their brand and make money for the companies, it's a gold mine where there's a big rush now with all types of tools and applications and different things that are out there. We just happen to think ours is the best. We happen to think ours is the easiest. And once you see what's coming out, not just in 2.0, what's coming out in 2.5, what's coming out in 3.0, what's coming out in 3.5 and 4.0, it will absolutely blow people away. So if you're looking at the application now and say, well, this is here, but I wish something was different, like in the messaging. If people knew what was really coming up in our messaging section and the way that they were able to toggle all the different ways that they can handle and capture and work with different customers and different people that they've got, they'd say, oh, my gosh, that's just unbelievable. But we've got to walk before we can run. We've got to get 2.0 up. It's still going to be the most robust platform that's out there available today. And once we complete that we have the world as our oyster. We can absolutely knock it out of the park, and there's no one, I think, that's going to catch it.
Right. Hey, Ted, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you taking the time here. I know Halloween is a special time when you got young kids. I don't want to keep you from them anymore, and I think not only was it inspiring to hear for a lot of our people, but hopefully it instills an even deeper belief in terms of what we have here. So thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate you jumping on here.
No, and I apologize for the background buzz and Anakin are running from house to house here, so I appreciate all your patience and everybody else, and I wish everybody a happy Halloween, and thanks, Kim, to you and Sherry and all the rest of your team. You guys are doing a lights-out job, and for the company side, we just really sincerely appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right, everybody, real quick before we wrap it up here, don't forget we do have the Oktoberfest contest going on for this month. Company has set aside 5% additional bonus pool money for people that really put the pedal to the metal here. That's 5% in addition to the regular compensation plan. Anybody that gets 6 personal sales, that can be a combination of retail sales and enrollments by midnight tonight, Pacific time, you get 1 share in that pool. If you get 12 people, you get 2 shares. If you help some of those people get 6, you get more shares. There's really no limit to how much you can accumulate, and I can't promise you what it will be worth because it fluctuates literally by the hour right now, so it all depends on how many people are qualified at midnight. But so far, I was talking to Todd yesterday, we're looking at some pretty substantial checks for people that are qualifying for these shares. So if you're close, let's say you got 4 personal enrollments this month or something like that, and by stretching a little bit that you can make it happen, go for it, you guys. We're here to help you. Even though it's Halloween, we're doing 3-way calls, we're doing Skype, we're talking to people everywhere. So it is definitely a very exciting time. And on that note, I want to wrap this up by mentioning some people that have really come on board here and totally not only waved the social outbreak flag and planted it, but shown that they mean business. I mean, we got some people that have that have gotten involved with our team, and just in the past week, and some of them look like they may even be setting records in this company here right now. But just for the last week alone, I'd like to recognize Mr. Chris Lamont here from Southern California as being a brand new manager, and he called me today. He says, I'm close and I'm going to be putting in my last guy tonight. 12 personal enrollments. That is pretty exciting. Ron Saunders out of Florida, I believe. He's a brand new supervisor. Tony Canuli out of Florida is a brand new supervisor. Craig Lurch up in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. I believe he's either qualified as a supervisor or he's literally like one person away from making that happen here. So you guys are doing a fantastic job. If I'm forgetting somebody, it's not because I don't want to mention you. It's because everybody's running so fast and I simply haven't gotten the names yet. We will wrap it up, clean up the mess later after tonight and see who's all qualified. And on our team call next week, not only are we going to recognize you, but we're going to want to hear from all of you. So with that, I want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Let's really crank it up here this week with the live webinars, you guys. You can come out of this week with a very, very exciting team and some massive momentum building. So thanks, Ted. Thanks, John, for hosting this. As always, you do a fantastic job putting our whole communication system together, making sure it's running smoothly. Have a great night, everybody. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you on the webinars tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.